Well, good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, November 12th, and we have some birthdays today. Today is Hilda's birthday, so Hilda, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hilda. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also Georgia's birthday, so Georgia, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Georgia. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope you both have a great, great birthday. But we have one anniversary today because today is Lori and Larry Sample's 9th anniversary. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary. Happy, 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 happy anniversary. Happy, 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 happy anniversary. Well, I hope you have a great, great anniversary. So what's going on? It's like such a dreary autumn day. It's almost like, it feels like a winter day, not even an autumn day. It's not turn on the light kind of a day, but it's like a kind of a day. Jim left this morning. I never understand this. He got up like it's 6 o'clock in the morning to go up north, and he can't technically start hunting until Saturday. So, and it's about a 5.5, 6 hour drive to get up to where he hunts. Myself, I would have slept in and got up naturally and then drove up there and got up there before dark. That's where Jim and I are always different. I am not one to get up in the morning really early to get an early start, like to beat the traffic or something, because I don't think no matter what time you leave, you're not going to beat the traffic, first of all. And just because you beat the traffic in this city, the next time you get to the next big city, you're hitting their traffic. So you're going to hit traffic no matter what, is my thought. That's just me. But so Jim left, and then he usually calls me when he gets to the bridge, which is usually about a 5-hour drive. And he left here, I'd say about 6:30 this morning. So it got to be like 11:30, and I wasn't hearing from him, and I was getting a little concerned. I was just getting ready to call him about noon, and he called me to let me know he was just getting on the bridge. And I said, well, what happened? Well, there's this one exit that he stops at on the way up to buy his bait for the deer. And when he stopped there, his best friend Dick, who lives the other side of town, he just happened to be there too, picking up some bait. So even though they're going to spend the next week and a half together, they like a bunch of old women, he says, and then they talked, and then they decided that they were going to meet up a couple exits up to go to breakfast, because they always stop at West Branch, if you're familiar with Michigan. Anyway, they stopped at West Branch to get breakfast, and then they chit-chatted a little bit more. So but he left before Jim because Jim had to use the restroom. So he said that way, Dick, it worked out perfectly, because Dick would probably be up there, have all his stuff unloaded, and he'd be able to help Jim unload his stuff. So he's a happy camper that he went up there. He was complaining because I usually, for Jim's clothes, I usually just buy his clothes, because Jim's not really much of a clothes shopper, which once he does go shopping for clothes, I don't want to go with him because he takes forever and a day. And, after being together for 57 years, I kind of know what his taste is, and I know what he'd like, and and I know his sizes and stuff. So I usually just buy his clothes. But he went to buy some hunting pants yesterday, and he came home and he says, I was waiting in line to go into the fitting room to try them on, and I just happened to glance at the price tag, and it was like $89. And I said, well, that sounds about how much pants are nowadays. And he said, no, that seems awful high. He says, so I put them back on the rack. I said, okay. But then I did find some other pants, and he said that that weren't as nice, but they were $50. I'm thinking they're probably cheap, and they probably would have been better off just to spend the $90 ones. It's just, I don't know. It's just Jim. That's the way Jim goes. But I have a call coming in. I'll be right back. Oh, that was Mary. Oh, that girl. She had a sty on her eye, and she woke up with a black eye this morning. Only because her blood levels are so low. She must have been like I don't know, laying hard on that side of her face or something. She sent me a picture, and it looks awful. It just looks awful. But she said they lanced it. It worked out because she had an eye appointment anyhow, because on the 25th, I think it is, she's going to have cataract surgery. And so she had a pre-exam appointment today anyhow, so he was able to lance it and fix it for her somewhat, whatever. He gave her some drops to put in her eye, but they've decided that that was the eye that was supposed to be scheduled for the surgery. She's having both eyes done, one this month and one next month, so they just switched them around, so she's going to do the other eye. But that girl can't catch a break, I'm telling you. It was just awful. But anyway, so Jim's up north, hunting, and he'll be up there for a couple, at least a week. But it's kind of weird now. It's just so strange because he's only been gone a couple hours, but I already feel alone. I feel lonely. It's just it's going to be different because I'm hoping that, I don't know. It's just, I'm hoping I don't go off the rails and eat crappy because I don't have to cook. Although I still got to cook for myself, but maybe I'll eat a little bit healthier. I don't know. I'm just hoping. I'm really struggling with the fact that I'm not losing weight. I'm losing consistently because I've had 9 weeks in a row of a weight loss. That's like one of my longest streaks in a very, very long time. So I'm very proud of myself for that. But it's getting discouraging that I'm not losing more. And I've reached an age, I know, where it's going to come off even slower. And I could kick myself for gaining back my weight, but that's not gonna make a difference. I would say that everybody that I watch on YouTube, just about, with the exception of maybe a few, have gained back a significant amount of weight, and they're back on track trying to lose weight, which just once again proves that this is a hard battle to fight. And I think it's a war that's never completely over. It's just not. There are people on there that have successfully kept their weight off, and they've won the war. But I think I'm going to have battles for the rest of my life, and I'm willing to face that reality, and just know that it's just a constant battle. And especially at my age, I have to make a purposeful effort to eat healthy because my parts are old, and although they're not, some of them are replaceable, I guess, but at my age, they're not going to replace them because it's just, it's too risky. Surgery's risky no matter what, but it's just too risky now. So, just got to eat healthier, try to eat more protein. I do try to eat more protein, but it's kind of hard for me sometimes. It really is. And like I said, I've been trying to stay away from the processed foods and eat more fruits and vegetables. But I don't really have much of an appetite lately. And that's one of the reasons I'm not losing weight, because unfortunately you have to eat weight. You have to eat food to lose weight. You got to eat to lose. But it's just a matter of choosing the right foods to eat, when to eat, and how much to eat and all of that. But oh my gosh, the sun just came out. The sun will come out for a little while. It's really nice out there looking now. It doesn't look so gloomy like it did when we started. That's just telling me that on the horizon is good thoughts. That's what I got to have, good thoughts, good plans, and things will come to a fruition. They really will. So I'm going to read my book today. Jim and I watched Dancing with the Stars. We liked it. I was surprised to see Tom Bergeron because I read somewhere that he would never go back. He would never go back. And then I read an article this morning that said the only reason he went back was one of the stipulations was they had to make a donation to his charity that he supports, and that it wasn't the previous producers that were doing the show, the ones that with Tyra Banks, I think it was who was when that was awful when she was on. But it was fun. It really was fun. I agreed with who went home. I didn't agree with all the 10s they were giving out. It was just like, when it gets too close to the semifinals, everybody gets a 10. No matter what, they get a 10. at the beginning when I thought they should have got a 10 just as an inspiration because they did so well. No, they didn't get a 10. They maybe got a 9. But all in all, Jim and I do like that show. And then we watched Doc because we watched that. And then tonight's all my big night of viewing. I got all my Chicagos. I said that wrong last week, but we have all the Chicagos, Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD. And then I watched The Floor and 99 to Beat and Amazing Race and Survivor. So, Dick has a satellite on his TV, so Jim will watch some of the shows. He doesn't have a DVR, so he'll watch them, but he'll have to watch commercials. Poor Jim. And then I'll text back and forth with Joan tonight because Joan and I usually watch some. We usually watch Survivor together and then go back and forth. But since she actually works for a living, because she takes care of kids in the morning, she has to get up early. She usually doesn't watch Amazing Race until tomorrow, and then tomorrow we'll talk about Amazing Race. But so I think that's gonna do it for now. Gonna watch my shows that I do watch. I watch the Murdoch Murders on Hulu, which I've already seen it on Netflix, but I like the Hulu better than the Netflix one. And then on Apple, I'm watching Down Cemetery Road, which is very good. I like Slow Horses too, if anybody watches that one with Gary Oldman. That one is good too. That's on Apple. And then I think I'm going to start this weekend maybe watching the morning show because I like to wait till it's almost done. There's only one more episode, which is next Wednesday. So I might start watching that. And then Lynn's coming on Sunday. And so anyway, that's going to do it. Once again, thank you for hanging in there with me. I know that it started off as a weight loss channel, then it kind of drifted apart. Now I'm trying to get it back to still having fun, but losing weight along the way and keeping you in touch with my family and what's going on and all that good stuff. So until we meet again, until we see each other, how about we try to check in with each other again tomorrow? See you then.